Welcome to this selection from the Stereoscopic Society's annual exhibition for 2026. Digital images were entered in 6 individual categories. These will be shown interspersed with sets of images from each of the selectors and also entries in the Images on a Theme category, 2D to 3D conversions and slides. The slides were digitized for judging. The first category is digital, people, pets and domestic animals. This attracted 26 images from 18 entrants.
Gisela Will photographed Chicken Party at Leipzig Zoo. These chickens will not be eaten. Peter Blair says, "You are in my heart." Location is Zermatt with the Matterhorn in the background. Tony Watts asks this friendly horse, "A penny for your thoughts." This beautiful double portrait by Neil Crick he calls Model with Her Mum. This colourful cat is called Amelia. Photo by Mary Paul. Mira is the title of this fine portrait by Girish Jaram. John Savage shows us pounding chocolate at Hotel Chocolat, St. Lucia. Kevin Harvey shows us the engine driver. Phil Palmer has photographed Grace in the Treetops, a Zip World experience. Helen Beauville shows us Wedding Bubbles, photographed at her niece's wedding at Gretna Green last year. Phil Palmer has been to the Whitby Steampunk Festival and photographed some of the participants. This image was commended. Also commended is Sharpshooter by Neil Crick. There were 2 runners-up, and the first is Aussie with Stick by George Themelis. The second is Derek Medhurst with this image Winnie and Winnie. The plush Winnie the Pooh toy has been put there as a companion and toy for the ex-racehorse. But the winner is Sharing a View by David Kuntz.
This set of images are by selector Vanessa Grine. The next category is digital, scenery, and here 32 images were entered by 19 stereographers.
Cornwall Viewpoint is by Phil Palmer. Alan Wright has photographed Dolgoch Station, the midpoint station on the Tallyllyn Railway. This low-level shot David Starkman calls Amsterdam Night. Landing stage on Lake Windermere is from the camera of Paul Hutchins. Stefan Will shows us Creek in the Countryside, and Stefan adds, My wife had found this lovely spot on Google Earth. It said canoe rental, but sadly it was only for club members. Scott's View, Eildon Hills, is George Collins' title for this photograph. The view is 3 miles east of Melrose in the Scottish borders. Bingen on the Rhine is by Stefan Will, and Stefan says, "It took me half an hour through the wood to find the perfect spot on the hill." Alan Wright has been to the inner harbour at Looe in Cornwall. He calls his picture Safe Harbour. Autumn Scene is the work of Terry Turnber. Tony Watts has photographed this couple taking a walk in Little Langdale. Misty Walk is Brian Davies's title for this picture. Phil Palmer shows us Hallstatt, a picturesque village in Austria's mountainous Salzkammergut region, and this image was commended. Also commended, this atmospheric picture, Sunset at Cannon Beach, was captured by George Themelis. There were 2 runners-up. This fine hyperstereo by David Kuntz he calls Lonely as a Cloud. And Helen Beauville says, "Nature has transformed a disused cemetery into an urban woodland right next door to my house in Hull." She calls her photograph Woodland Morning Light. The winning image, Bacharach on the Rhine, was taken by Gisela Will and her husband Stefan, standing some metres apart and counting down from 3. Teamwork.
In the common theme category, members are invited to enter a set of up to 4 images with brief supporting text to illustrate their theme. There were 15 entries from 13 entrants.
William Jessup and Thomas Telford's 1805 Pontcysylltu Aqueduct near Llangollen is Mike Hilliard's theme. This picture shows the 18 tapered sandstone columns which were hollow at the top to reduce weight. These carried 19 arches of cast iron, on top of each of which was bolted a cast iron plate and side panels, forming the channel which carries the Llangollen Canal over the River Dee Valley 38 metres below. The channel is 307 metres long and a towpath is provided which is supported by iron posts over part of the channel. The space under the towpath gives an easy path for the water displaced by the narrowboats. In modern times, a variety of different craft use the aqueduct, not just narrowboats. It's an interesting view over the edge for the canoeists. Paddleboards are not permitted. Tony Watts' theme is London Old and New. London is full of buildings of great variety and contrasting styles, old and new. Tony starts with old, Southwark Cathedral. The present building dates from the 13th century when it was an Augustinian priory. Next, old and new, St Paul's Cathedral, completed in 1711, contrasts greatly with number 1 New Change, an office and retail development completed in 2010. The reflection of the old in the new is particularly striking. Finally, new. The London Docklands contain many new buildings from various architects. In this image, the Newfoundland and Landmark Pinnacle Towers dominate the riverfront. Of particular note is the building with the diamond-shaped exoskeleton. Neil Crick's theme is Amateur Actors in Tudor Costume. They were photographed at the Athelhampton House near Dorchester, Dorset. The pictures were taken with twin Sony A6000 cameras mounted in small rig cages. The zoom rings on the 18 to 55mm Sony lenses were mechanically linked. The shutters were linked via one-to-one remote shutter cables. Jeff Ewan's theme, The Rise of Immersive, was commended. His pictures are taken with a 6.5mm lens, giving a 144-degree field of view, aiming for images viewable with standard or immersive viewers. First is Carter Gar Up Lookout, King Park, with a 15-kilometre view in all directions. Habibi Sculpture at Point Walter Reserve. Efforts to capture this sculpture with rectilinear lenses have failed where this curvilinear image succeeds. Carry Tree, Row Gardens. This forest giant is captured with ease in this curvilinear photo, where earlier attempts with normal lenses have failed to capture their magnificence. North Beach Indian Ocean Sunset. Here, unbroken coast north to south is captured and with good central point of focus. Immersive stereo is here to stay. Also commended was Xiao Fenghua's set of images called Last Glory. These were taken in late autumn and early winter and feature the leaves of lotus plants. This image is called Vibrant Metamorphosis. Fenghua is a big fan of lotus plants and considers carefully the lighting he wants before photographing them. This picture is called Vivid Transfiguration. These images are designed to capture the second half of life. This one is called Sunset Glow. The last image in the set is called The Last Glory. David Kuntz is the first runner-up with his theme, The Palisades Fire. The first image is Ghost of Christmas Past. The Palisades Fire began shortly after the holidays and signs of the festivities were still around. Next, Life's a Beach. The Palisades is a wealthy and exclusive enclave near on the coast, and many houses have dramatic ocean views. Third, Agave Framed. Classed as a conflagration rather than a wildfire, the blaze spread primarily from structure to structure rather than from plant to plant, so much of the vegetation survived whilst houses did not. Finally, Childhood's End. Where laughter once echoed, only silence remains. A stark reminder that the fire damaged more than just property. It destroyed a community. Xiao Fenghua is the second runner-up with this set of images called From Zenith to Splendor. These 4 photos were taken in the late autumn and early winter and feature the leaves of lotus plants. This one he calls Ready to Turn. Fenghua loves lotus plants, from the significant flower in the summer to the splendid colour transformation of lotus leaves in late autumn and early winter. His title here is Twilight Kaleidoscope. He loves to record their beauty and elegance, especially in 3D. This image is called Fractured Elegance. The 4th image in this set is called Stunning Turnaround. Bernard Foote is the winner with his theme, which is about a hornet which was trapped in clothing hanging in a wardrobe and died. This close-up seems to show evidence of the clothes entanglement. In its death throes, it became angry and unsheathed its sting to attack the clothing which was entrapping it. This is a close-up of the sting.
Now we have the category Digital, Buildings Inside and Out. This attracted 20 images from 15 stereographers.
This complex jumble of tiled roofs and walls was photographed by Gisela Ville at Whitewick Manor. Rothley Station is by Brian Davis. Rothley Station lies on the restored Great Central Railway in Leicestershire. Derek Medhurst shows us Hidden Corner of Scotney Castle. It's tucked away at the old 14th century castle near Lamberhurst in Kent. Founded just after the Norman conquest, the present-day ruins of Launceston Castle mainly date from the 12th and 13th centuries. Image by Kevin Harvey. Abandoned buildings, Morocco, were photographed by Brian Davis. This commended image, Autumnal Battersea, is by Peter Blair. Also commended, This is Only Halfway, by Bob Taylor. This is the quarter-mile long rope walk at Chatham Historic Dockyard. There are two runners-up, and the first is Rochdale Town Hall main staircase, image by Phil Palmer. Also commended is Rob Cayley's image, St Lawrence's Church, Eyam. Eyam is renowned as the plague village, where the villagers isolated themselves from surrounding communities during the Black Death. The winner is David Kuntz with Harrods in the Rain, capturing the essence of a wet day in London.
Next, we have the category 2D to 3D conversions. This attracted 19 images from 7 members.
This conversion by David Hensel he calls The Last Tulip. Holy Mackerel is by Roger Clements. Ladybird on the March is by Bernard Foote. It was converted using Zerine Focus Stacker's synthetic stereo tool. Karen Cragg Grisdale was a 2D image taken by Girish Jaram on his Samsung S24 phone, which he then put through Depth Maker for 3D. David Hensel shows us Blue Lady. Chalk drawing of a shell is also by David Hensel. Looks a bit fishy, says Roger Clements. This conversion by Andy Blakemore is of his own photo of December morning on the River Hamble. The image was commended. We're All Eyes is Roger Clements' title for this photograph, which was also commended. The runner-up is David Hensel, who has 2D to 3D converted this drawing entitled My Very Own Bonsai. And the winner is Andy Blakemore, who calls his image Tiny Planet. Andy adds, This is a 3D conversion of my own 360-degree photo of Arundel Castle Gardens.
The next set of images is the work of selector Maciej Simulski. The category Digital, Creative and Imaginative produced 7 images from 6 entrants.
This atmospheric infrared image by Brian Davis is called The Gateway. The first runner-up is David Kuntz with Love at the Drive-In. The second runner-up, Hibiscus in Decay, was created by Jeff Ewan. And the winner is George Themelis, who shows us Spinning Ballerina.
In the slide category, 3 entrants submitted work and we had 9 images.
Nikolai Bazov has photographed Hurstmonceau Castle. This is one of the oldest significant brick buildings still standing in England. Nikolai also shows us the Bridgewater Canal in Lymm. The first true cut canal of the Industrial Revolution, it was designed by James Brindley for the Duke of Bridgewater. The Arch of the Famous Tower is Nikolai Bazov's title for this commended image. In the background are the Champ de Mars, the École Militaire and the Tour Montparnasse. The runner-up is Cacti, Porto Moniz, Madeira by John Bailey. The winner is Keith Webb. He tells us, "I like apples," and adds, "They won't miss one."
The category Digital Human-Made Objects attracted 35 images from 19 stereographers.
Paul Hutchins has visited Lancaster's Williamson Park. In the background, his image shows the Ashton Memorial, a folly built in the early 1900s by industrialist Lord Ashton in memory of his wife Jenny. Andy Blakemore has photographed this large pine cone sculpture. Figureheads is by Kevin Harvey. Alan Wright has spotted this unusual emergency exit onto a Venetian canal. Derek Medhurst shows us Tornado. Engine 60163 Tornado was completed in 2008. It was the first new-built steam locomotive on the British main line since 1960. Looking Upwards in Jericho is by Dennis Bursma. Jericho is an artwork by Anselm Kiefer consisting of 2 towers made of reinforced concrete blocks. Rob Cayley shows us the Christmas merry-go-round. Bulldog at the Feet of the Black Prince. This sculpture in Canterbury Cathedral has been the source of some disagreement over the years, but is now regarded as a bulldog. Image by Derek Medhurst. Bob Taylor shows us this vintage 1950s Guzzi. Dandelion, Liverpool River of Lights, is by Rob Cayley. River of Lights is an annual free event that provides an outdoor illuminated gallery on Liverpool waterfront. Also by Rob Cayley, Torpedo Bay HMS Ocelot was taken on the Society's outing to Chatham Dockyard. Dennis Bursma tells us that the title here, Sphere in an Atrium, speaks for itself. Rob Cayley says, definitely no parking. A hilarious piece of street art in New Brighton. This commended image, Shoreditch street art, was photographed by Peter Blair. Steaming Away was taken by Kevin Harvey at the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway in Kent, also commended. The third commended image is Chirk Castle Bronze by Mike Hilliard. This is one of a set of 4 bronzes by Andrea Carlo Lucchesi in the gardens of Edward I's great stronghold. The runner-up is Alan Wright with his picture Rowboats, pulled out of the water at Derwent. But the winner is this atmospheric steam railway shot which John Savage calls Spot the Spotters.
Selector Stephen O'Neill provided the next set of images. The final category is digital natural history. Here, 10 entrants provided 23 images.
This portrait by Andrzej Jablonski is entitled Robberfly. Hoverfly on Daisy was also photographed by Andrzej Jablonski. Bernard Foote shows us his close-up of a poppy seed. This vibrant flower image by Jeff Ewan he calls Red Hibiscus. Mike Hilliard photographed these young gulls in Scarborough Harbour. Gotcha! Helen Boville was watching diving gannets as she sat on a boat bobbing about on the North Sea just off Flamborough Head. The next 4 images were commended. First, Jeff Ewan from Western Australia has photographed Hibiscus Hiawatha. Second, Small Copper Butterfly on Heather is by Bob Price. This raccoon is saying to George Themelis, "Hi, how's it going?" Third commended image. Finally, this wonderfully tufty caterpillar is that of the pale tussock moth. Photo by Andrzej Jablonski. Andrzej Jablonski is also the first runner-up with clustered bonnet fungi, aka Mycena inclinata. This beautiful small copper butterfly was photographed by Bob Price on his finger, and this is the second runner-up. The winner is Thick-Legged Flower Beetle and was captured by Andrzej Jablonski.
Each year, an image is selected which is regarded as the stand-out image over all of the categories. Next, we look back at these overall winners from the past 6 years. In 2020, George Themelis was the winner with Hawk. And George was winner again in 2021 with Pet Fox. In 2022, Barry Aldous was the winner with Late Autumn Morning Walk. And in 2023, it was George Themelis with Eagle Close-Up. And George was winner again in 2024 with Chicago Fireworks by the Lake. In 2025, Linda Kazanjian was the winner with Microscopic Radiolaria Fossils. We now recap on the winners from each of the 2026 categories. And now we announce that the overall winner of the Stereoscopic Society Annual Exhibition 2026 is Gisela and Stefan Will with Bacharach on the Rhine.